books like McGuffey Readers, McGuffey English, and so forth. But a lot of parents couldn't afford to pay for them, so the teacher would have to write a great deal down on the board. This is a true blackboard. These are poplar boards. They've been planed down or smoothed down and painted with a slate type paint. This is what the parents can afford. Now at this time, discipline was very important. If you were bad, they might make you stand or sit in the corner. If you failed a test, they might make you wear the dunce cap.
Yeah.
It didn't matter which way you faced. If they put your nose in the corner, they put the dunce still to face the class. Over here, there are some rings on the board. You'll notice right here. Well, what they had to do, you had to step up to the board and pick the ring that was at your height. You would put your nose in it. Then you took a step back, stood up on your toes, put your hands behind your back, bent over, put your nose back in the same ring. And if you missed, you had to stand there longer. Take my word for it, standing on your toes and leaning forward hurts. Another very popular punishment was the switch. And you can hear this one. Now, this is actually a sycamore, piece of sycamore. They tended to use something worse. Green, willow, or hickory. The reason it's worse is because it's very flexible. Switches were used on the backs of your legs. Boys wore pants that were a bit shorter, girls wore dresses that were short, so the backs of your legs would be bare. And those switches would go right around, because that's how they would whip you. Some teachers preferred to go with a paddle, like this. But it didn't matter what you got whipped with in school. If you got whipped, when you went home, they whipped you again. That was just the way they did it back then. They believed spare the rod, spoil the child. Now, school supplies. Usually the teacher was given something like a box of chalk, a water bucket, and a cup. Of course, the water bucket and cup was for everyone to use. So, of course, if one of them was sick, everybody was probably sick. This right here, this is an inkwell. You can make ink from gooseberries or pokeberries. These are feather pens, and this actually happens to be a turkey feather right here. Now, school generally started right after blackberry picking time and would go for about 6 months. The day would last from around 8 till 4, and they did get recess. The teacher would decide how much time they got, and they did bring their food from home to eat. They didn't call it lunch, they called it dinner. This right here is, of course, for heat. This is a pot-bellied stove, and it wasn't uncommon for the teacher to actually pay an older student to come in on mornings and get a fire going so that the building would be warm by the time the rest of them got there. Now, if you'll notice, there are some photographs over here. Those are actual children that went to this very school. Does anybody have a question?
Then he would take it back out and just put it aside and let Mother Nature slowly cool it off instead of a quick cooling like the water would have done. But the brine, which is oil, done it quicker. So you could hit it with oil, then you could go back to work with it. It slowed it totally different. It made life a lot easier for the poor farmer. I was just touch base on the plow point. He'd take a pair of wore out horseshoes. He'd make a gold hinge out of it. Like gold hinges right here. Something he would throw away because it's worn out. He made hinges out of it. Instead of people taking a piece of leather, that's what they used at the time. We take things for granted now that made life a lot easier. Door latch. Latch your door. Keep your chicken house closed. Beautiful design. Candle holder. I'm sure you saw one of these over in the cabin. But one of the most modern and the best things that the poor blacksmith made was nails. That's what made Appalachia. He was able to build a lot more things instead of drilling holes and putting wooden plugs in. They call these cut nails. They don't look like the common nail that you have today. They're called a cut nail. I use them here on the farm now.
Where did the Kentuckians get iron to make their tools?
Okay, at that time, it came from West Liberty area. And there's another mine around the South Point, Ohio area. People came out of Virginia. You think they would have came up to the breaks of the mountains, come through Pike County, and came into Appalachia. They did not. They could not get through the mountains. So they went west, like toward Lexington or Winchester. They circled around the West Liberty area, then they came back in. Any questions?
Why did you twist the metal?
Why did they? And mostly this was just for design. That's all this was.
Well, actually, why don't you see the lights Why?
That's what I was talking about, the tempering process. Okay, let me answer his question, okay?
it's the same question.
Yeah, okay.
And why do you get like your metal and
To temper it, to make it harder. That's what the tempering process. You make it. It makes it harder, so it won't be wore. It won't wear out as quick. G, G, A, A, G, G, D.
All right, when I dropped this, I got totally out of tune. Can you play your bass string only for me, please? No, the lowest one. That would be the farthest away from you. Farthest away from you. F sharp, F sharp, E, E, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, E, and D. So you do it again. F sharp, G, G, F sharp, E, E, F sharp. Put that back on the lap like a dulcimer. You pick it up like a guitar. I'll put it on the table for you. Okay?